I'm a single mom, so, and I have a 5-year-old son named Mason. So the business was named after him. So before I relocated back to Laurinburg about 2 years ago, I was in Durham for eight years. That's where I went to college at, and that's when I had Mason. And my village was here in Laurinburg, and I was just in Durham by myself. So to get some me time, I relied on drop-in centers in Durham to keep Mason while I can go out and get a pedicure or something like that, and just enjoy still being a young adult that had a child as well. So Mason's Playhouse is a drop-in center. Kids can stay up to 4 hours each day. And then once or twice a week, kids can stay up to 8 hours. So this type of short-term care is not regulated by the state. Since it's considered short-term care, it's not considered an actual daycare. So we stay open on late nights, we're open on the weekends, and we also just started offering overnight childcare. And I'm trying to push that now through social media. But let's see, so we open up in September. So we're about at the 6 months mark now. So it has been, I think without, social media has been what has actually pushed me as far to have the success that I have had. So I've been using all the techniques, you know, like Chris said, my background helps me with that, but also like I'm constantly studying marketing and social media. I'm in Facebook groups that have people in there that have had to build a following from nothing to something, and so I'm always in there asking questions and trying to figure out how best to utilize social media to my advantage. And when people do come in and use the business, I always ask them how they heard about us, and it's always, oh, on Facebook. So experiment with advertising through Facebook as well. I did radio before, and newspaper, and I try to keep up with all the community events that's going on. And you know, during the winter we don't have too many, but coming up I'll make sure I have a table everywhere. So because I see as parents, I think I try to also survey parents to see why haven't they utilized us yet. And for one, you have to have a need to use us. We're like a luxury service. You just need daycare to go to work, but after work you can stay home if you don't have the money to pay someone for childcare. So that has been a challenge that I didn't really think about being in a small town. Like, how much can people afford a luxury such as extra childcare? So I guess I'll stop right there with the question of how do I reach those people who have the extra money to spend on childcare? Because I think right now, most of my customers that do come in, they are single parents. So, but I still want to reach like the 2-parent household and people who maybe make more than $40,000 a year, because just from personal experience, I know after I started making more than $40,000 a year, I had way more money to spend on treating myself out and finding a sitter as well. We can come back to that question at the end of it. But I see Mason's Playhouse being more than just a center to drop kids off at. I see it as where I want to go within the next year is to figure out how to present to local businesses and the local corporations my concept of helping them to reduce the turnover rates, because a lot of corporations around here and businesses have, I'm sure like when the employees call out, it's because it may be because of childcare. Third shift could be something that I could target. That could happen a lot for third shift, people calling out because the city canceled overnight or something like that. So I want to get into the HR departments at corporations around here, and I want to present this as how, providing backup childcare can increase the company morale and reduce turnover rates, and ultimately save the money in having to rehire someone else because they had to let someone go due to having no childcare. And being that I worked in different industries before as a supervisor, I saw this as an issue too. Many moms, especially during the flu season, had to call out because they didn't have anyone to take care of their sick child. But I feel like that we can kind of eliminate that the lack of child care for businesses like that. So, and I also want to ask you all to petition with me our local city council or city government. I saw where it has been cases in New York where the mayor decided to add on childcare to the public meetings, and it increased the attendance because if you watch the tapes of the city council meetings, you'll see that it's not really many parents in there at all. You mostly see an older demographic that goes to those meetings. And I feel like, well, I know for a fact that it's a lot of us between 20 and 35 here that have kids, and I'm not gonna take my noisy son to a meeting like that, especially if it's being recorded too. So I want to eventually gather enough feedback and survey the community to see if there's a need for, if that has been a reason why parents have not attended the public meetings in town as well. And we can set up shop at the meetings in the room and keep the kids and increase attendance with some of the voices in the community that may not have a chance to be heard because they're home with their kids out of respect for these type of meetings. So my ask is to just help me petition our local government. I'm looking for help on presenting to businesses and corporations on this presentation that I have, how to wrap all of that up into a nice little presentable package and make it attractive to corporations.